So yeah, then started the new era for Anthrax with Sound of White Noise.
Sound of White Noise, yeah. Once again, a really, really exciting time, getting to feel like we were making our first album all over again. We had wanted John Bush in the band since 1988. It was the first time we ever talked about John Bush joining Anthrax, and here we were in 1992, and we were able to make that a reality, and John joined the band, and we really felt like we were getting to start over, and not many bands get to do that, and just a really exciting time on every level, you know, creatively, successfully, commercially, you know, just everybody was really, really happy and excited about being in Anthrax. And, you know, John joining the group was just such a great energy for us. And he was someone who we had such huge respect for already as a singer from his work with Armored Saint. And we were already friends with him. We already knew the guy for years. So it was just a really cool coming together. And I love the record. Once again, so many songs on the record we still play live. I think certainly Only and Room for One More are certainly, to me, Anthrax classics. You know, and I love Black Lodge, which is also, I think, an amazing song, which we don't play enough live. I think it's an awesome song.
Okay, then I think Hard Times for Anthrax.
The beginning.
Stomp 442. The beginning.
Yeah, the beginning of the Hard Times, because we went into Stomp 442 very happy. Once again, you know, we had some great ideas, and we were really happy with the riffs, and but our problems, our what seemed like eternal record company problems started with this record. Elektra, just in the States, they had fired everybody, and all the people we had been working with and the people that signed us were all gone, and it was all new people, and they didn't want anything to do with us, and pretty much did nothing at all to promote this record worldwide. Most people didn't even know we had a record out, and a really, really frustrating time, because Sound of White Noise worldwide had sold, you know, over something like 1.5 million copies, and in the States had sold like 600,000, 700,000, and then Stomp comes out and sold maybe 100,000, 150,000. How do you go from like 700,000 to 150,000? Because nobody knew. Yeah. If they even would have done just a little bit of promotion, we probably could have sold 300,000. Yeah. Our business had changed, and the metal world had also changed by that time in 95, 96. And, you know, outside of Metallica and Pantera, it was a hard time, I think, for metal, and certainly for us. But still, Fueled, I think, is a great song. I really love Random Acts of Senseless Violence. I love King Size. I love Riding Shotgun. There's a lot. I think there's a lot of great songs on that record.
Okay. Yeah, and then you went on, and we come to my personal favorite.
Cool.
Volume 8.
From 1995 till 1998, it was a hard time, and a lot of that hard time you could hear in that record for sure. I mean, it's definitely way more aggressive. I think starting to get a little bit back to our roots on that album, and in the States was doing great, and then after 3 months, the label we were on went out of business, and that was it. No more album. You couldn't even buy it in the stores. It was just gone. So once again, a huge, huge frustration, because we thought we had made a great record, like songs like Inside Out, I think, and Crush, and Catharsis, and what else is on this album?
604 and Stealing Thief.
604, yeah.
Stealing from the Thief. Piss and Vinegar.
Yep. Big Fat, awesome, giant riff. Cup of Joe. I mean, Killing Box. I think there's just a lot of cool shit on this record, and but once again, usually frustrating for us to just see it like nothing happened. And then it was like right after this, Charlie and I went and did the SOD reunion, because I think at that point we realized until we could try and get our business sorted out with Anthrax, we can't make another record. Yeah. You know, we can't throw another record in the garbage.
Yeah, and then it took you 5 years.
Exactly.
Till you came out with Weve Come For You all.
Yeah, and that's, you know, we did a big headlining tour at the beginning of 2000. I remember we had Fu Manchu opening for us, and that went really amazing. It was a great tour for us. And then summer of 2000, we went out with Motley Crue and Megadeth, and did these 3 weeks of dates in the States, and really wasn't the best tour ever to be on, but it was a lot of fun for us. And I think after that tour in the summer with Motley and Megadeth is when we realized it's like, you know what, we're definitely not ready to give this up. We have another album in us, and that's when we started writing Weve Come For You all. And I think certainly the record that when it came out in 2003 certainly put us back in Europe and Japan and Australia and everywhere else in the world. It was definitely the comeback record for us because now we were on Nuclear Blast, and they did an amazing job for us. We were finally on a real label that understood how to promote a record for us, and it felt great to come back. Still had major problems in the United States because we were stuck on this label Sanctuary, but everywhere else in the world, it was a really great time for us, and went out and toured that record all the way until early 2005, like pretty much touring that record on and off for 18 months. And I think next to my two favorite Anthrax albums are Among the Living and Weve Come For You All. So, that's how strong I feel about that record.
Yeah, and after that, not a regular album, but you did some re-recordings with John Bush of the old Joey Belladonna stuff.
Well, if you know anything about the music business, when bands, because we're not the only band in history to have re-recorded our songs, a lot of bands have done that, and there's a reason behind that. Generally, it's either because of publishing or because you're trying to get out of a record deal, and there you go. We were trying to get out of this deal with Sanctuary in the United States, and we owed them albums, and there was no way we were going to make another studio album because we would just not allow them to throw an album in the garbage. And it had come down to either we make like Greater of Two Evils and Music of Mass Destruction. Either we make those and get out of the deal, or and Anthrax would be finished.
Yeah.
So it just was a really shitty place to be in because, once again, business was bad for us in the United States, and we got stuck in some deals that just really sucked, and involved with companies that were not good companies, and we did everything we could to do our best, but as a band, you can only control so much, which is your songwriting and being a good live band, and sometimes the business is out of your control. But I fucking love that record because I listen to John sing those songs, and it's how I always imagined those songs in my head my whole life. So there's a lot of energy on that record, being in the room recorded, because it's live. I mean, that shit's live in the studio, and there's a lot of energy in those tracks, and I think it sounds great.
Yeah.
And when I listen to those old songs to relearn them for touring, I listen to those versions, not the original versions.
So, then you did the reunion with Joey Belladonna and the live CD, and now we have got the new album. No cover yet. Worship Music.
It's done, but we just haven't released it yet.
Yeah.
The cover. Creatively, I've never been happier in my life. I think it's the best Anthrax songs we've ever written. We spent 2 years challenging ourselves because we had nothing left to lose. It was either this has got to be the best record we've ever made, or break up. That's really what it came down to. Because when we started this new album, Worship Music, we didn't even have a band. We had 2 members. We had me and Charlie. And all we had was these songs we were writing, and that's the only thing that kept us together over the last 2.5 years, was the fact that we felt so strongly about these songs that we weren't willing to let go yet, because they were that good. If they weren't that good, the band would have broken up in 2007. It would have been finished. So that's the best thing I could say about this record is there was many times where I thought I couldn't do this anymore because it wasn't fun for me in 2007. It just had become too many problems and too frustrating, and the songs are amazing. And the songs were better than all the problems for me, and that's definitely what kept me involved. And I think when people hear this record, they're going to hear how important these songs were to us.